to another exciting episode of Break the Apocalypse podcast. This is your weekly look at the world of entertainment. Now that the apocalypse is over, we can all go back to the movies. Joining me on this road to hell is none other than Shaheen Aldean. Shah, how you doing?
What's up, man? Glad to be on this platform. We've been talking about it for a while, and it's
I know this is exciting. This is a maiden launch on StreamYard. This is fucking awesome. And of course, you know him, you love him, you want to give him a big hug. B-Show Aldean is with us. B-Show Aldean, how are you?
I am extra burly tonight. Thank you, guys.
Well, you can't be that big in a small town, B-Show. Just not
I feel
allowed.
like the duck is too small a logo
for
this kind of show.
I am Draper Aldean. We've changed our name to the three Aldeans, who I never heard of till last week. I never heard of him.
Malenko, he's coming on the show tonight.
Yeah, Dean Malenko's coming on alone. Yeah, we could get Dean Malenko. That would be great. But hey, this is Break the Apocalypse. We're so happy. This is our first show on StreamYard. It's fucking amazing. We couldn't have picked a better week, Shah. Honestly, right? We could not have picked a better week to go to StreamYard.
Yeah. And just to correct, he means on YouTube. Fuck StreamYard.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah. Check us out on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
For everybody that's been listening, obviously we've changed the whole concept of the show. Also how we stream it. So for the free portion, you can check us out now live on YouTube. So you can actually go in the chat rooms, you can comment, we can talk back and forth with you. So I know no one's going to know that until the next episode. Of course. But if you're listening to this, just know next time around, you can pop in and we'll announce it on our Twitter or something.
Yeah, we'll send it. We'll send it to the Patreons. We'll send it out to them, of course, first. And boy, I'm excited. B-Show, are you excited? You look very excited.
I know it's like a whole different energy. I don't know why.
I know. It could be because there's so much going on in entertainment right now that we picked the best time ever. But if you are joining us for the first time, thank you for checking us out. We really appreciate it. But you still need to go to patreon.com/breaktheapp for $5 a month, Shah, don't they? They still need to do that to get the full entire catalog.
Yes, sir. And $5 a month is nothing. We never did inflation. We should inflate our prices. We should be
I wonder what it would be.
$15.99.
What do you think it would be? I don't know. B-Show, what do you think it would be for inflation? Like $7?
We're a solid $11.99.
You think it's $11.99? That sounds like a porn price.
$75. Who cares?
$75. Wow, that would be amazing. Jesus Christ. But
Big Mac is like $11, dude. You know?
What is $11?
A Big Mac. I think we're worth a fucking Big Mac meal split between three, you know?
Well, that's because you have to see a cardiologist after.
Right.
I mean, I don't know the last time I had a Big Mac, but it sounds great. Go to patreon.com/breaktheapp. We got a ton of stuff happening over there. And of course, if you're checking this out, you still have time, Patreon people, to get to the Q&A, don't they, B-Show?
Absolutely. We usually put that up toward the end of the month, so you still got a couple days yet. We may record that sometime this week. Again, that is Patreon only. Patreon members ask the questions. They get to hear the answers.
Yeah. And boy, I am excited. This has been a tremendous week in entertainment. Just so many stories. We're coming off of possibly one of the biggest box office weekends, maybe of all time. And it's still producing dividends. We'll get to that in a minute. But thank you to the many Patreons for sticking with us. We hope you're enjoying this transition. I'm having fun. I was not prepared to go live tonight. I literally look like an ice cream man in a mental institution, Chad, don't I?
You look like something, man. I don't know.
It's weird, right? No, I feel like I'm like escaped from somewhere.
I think with the background blurred out.
Yeah, because there's dead body.
To your left, it looks like, I don't know what it is, but that blue part. No.
Oh, no, that's a treadmill.
No, to your left.
To my left. Well, no, you got to remember, it's the this is a cushion. This is just a blanket.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like a jail bed because it's all blurred out.
Draper's in jail. I'm in the big house. B-Show, I'm in the big house.
Almost looks like one of those hostage videos. Like there's some guy in the back that's going to have to like appeal to family.
Yeah,
like, send him money, please.
Yeah. This is like, wait, hold on. If I get a piece of paper, I could read a hostage video. Hold on.
Are you in Waco?
No, hold on a second.
I can see John just making it.
Hold on a second. Here we go. Ready? The American imperialism needs to be stopped. The Mujahideen will destroy the infidels. Let my death be a message to those who oppose Allah and his will. That's what it kind of reminds me of. A little bit like that. And it's funny because I wasn't planning that. And that actually says that on these pieces of paper, believe it or not. But I'm excited. But as a somber note, I have to mention it. It's probably one of the biggest stories in the last day It's a little shocking to me personally. Doesn't mean that much to a lot of people, but disgraced, I guess, is a good word. Singer, Sinead O'Connor, at one point the biggest female singer in the world, um, known mostly for her Prince-written song "Nothing Compares to You." It's a blockbuster song and a very, very troubled career. Apparently, committed suicide yesterday as we're recording this at the age of 56. This was not a surprise to many people who have been following her for years, but it's getting a ton of press, B-Show, isn't it?
Yeah, and I know you're going to talk about the Morrissey thing, which was really interesting, but he hit the nail on the head. Like I remember when I was a kid, obviously, nothing compares to you. You've shared some other Sinead O'Connor stuff. I know you have some other stories from the
Yeah, I'm a
scene.
big fan.
But it's amazing to think of how she was just dropped off the face of the earth by everybody.
Everybody.
And of course, now everybody, alluding to the Morrissey comments, like everyone now is like, oh my God, what an icon. How amazing.
Hero, feminist
Yeah.
icon, hero, rebel,
Go below
warrior.
yourself.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You can shed more
Disgusting.
light on that than I can. But yeah, no, she was huge,
Yeah.
man, in the early 90s.
Enormous. She was enormous. Now, Shah, you said an interesting thing, and I think this is fascinating. You have no idea who the fuck this is. And I find that so profound because she at one point was like a Madonna level famous in this country and abroad, not even this country, in your lifetime.
Maybe if I heard some songs, I'm sure I would recognize them. But
Did you ever hear Stairway to Heaven?
by Led Zeppelin?
Yes, she didn't write that. She had nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay. You
How about
confused
Like a
the fuck
Virgin?
out of
You
me.
familiar with that? She has nothing to do with that either. These
Well,
are
then
just
that's why I don't know her, then, sir.
Thriller. Are you familiar with Thriller?
Yeah, she had nothing to do with that.
Fun fact, nothing to do with that whatsoever.
Well, I don't know her. She didn't do Thriller, bro.
Her biggest song, Shah, is a Prince song that Prince wrote for her when they were dating. They were a couple. Nothing Compares to You. I'm sure you've heard this song. This is This is an enormous song.
I think I've only heard one Prince song in my whole life. One Dove's Cry.
I thought you were going to say Bat Dance. I got a little scared.
Dude, you got to keep in mind though. I moved to Europe in the mid '90s.
Yeah, she's European, Shah. She's a European.
That's what I'm saying. Well, maybe she was, but I was like fucking 7.
You've never heard "Nothing Compares to You" by Sinead O'Connor. You've never heard this song in your life.
I mean, I would love to pull it up, but YouTube will kick us off before we even get on there.
Fuck
but,
yeah. Well, you have no concept of who she is, like what she did with the Pope. Nothing.
I mean, the name kind of sounds familiar. Like if I YouTube her, I'm sure I would.
Oh my God,
the songs.
Yeah.
I just don't know the name. It's not somebody that like I know.
Am I supposed to be pulling up the video or something?
I don't know.
No, I wouldn't do it on YouTube.
Yeah, we get kicked off. So Shah, she ripped up a picture of the Pope on TV in 1994.
I did see when I Googled her name. That was the first thing that popped up. Was her ripping up
and it ruined her life forever. She was never forgiven. She was never sort of welcomed back. Saturday Night Live has never aired the episode. It was hosted by Tim Robbins. B-Show, do you remember? You were a kid, but this was the biggest deal in the world. I mean, this was on the cover of every paper, the lead story in the news. This was a tremendous story.
I remember hearing about it ancillary of like parents talking about, oh, can you believe she did that? And then I remember seeing like old clips from MTV News, like with Kurt Loder.
Of course.
Talking about it.
Tabitha Soren.
Oh, yeah. But no, I don't remember it at the time. I was young and I didn't really get it because we weren't even religious then. Like we weren't going to church or anything until like 95.
Well, at the time, Frank Sinatra said he was going to punch her in the face, and everyone thought that was great. Joe Pesci said he would slap her. They made fun of her everywhere. She was disgraced. And interesting turn of events. She was kind of right about the Catholic Church and child rape, Shah. Isn't that interesting?
See, I was under the impression she was like a punk rock singer or something.
She was kind of. Yeah, she shaved her head.
Her vibe from the pictures, it looked like that's what.
Yeah,
I honestly thought she was the girl from the Cranberries. That's what I thought.
No, you're confusing all the whites again.
Dolores
I know what I'm saying, bro.
Who's also dead. Who, by the way, I think also committed suicide, B-Show.
Yeah, by alcohol. Yeah,
alcohol. Yeah.
I liked her, though. I knew her. You know.
Well, she was more in your lifetime. But Sinead, low key, like Sinead was my probably my favorite female singer in the world. I just put the picture back up on all my social media. When I did that appearance with Soup, Shah, which I was with you, I was wearing a Sinead O'Connor t-shirt. I mean, like, which made that guy want to fight me in Brooklyn. So I'm a super fan. I'm a lifelong fan. I've watched her life spiral out of control. There is a documentary, if you happen to have Showtime, they put a documentary about her, which is fascinating, that she participated in. She converted to being a priest. Then she became a Muslim. I think she was a Muslim for the last bunch of years of her life. And here's an interesting thing. If you see pictures of her, if you see her with hair back in the day, hot. Like, I'm not like, if you see her with hair in her 20s, some of these pictures are very unflattering. She looks a little too much like me, which is a bit distressing, guys.
Yeah, I
I
didn't know she was a
recommend.
Muslim. She's a Muslim in this picture. I don't know if you can
Yeah,
see
she
it.
died a Muslim. She changed the name. She became Muslim.
Wow. So she'll be
Um,
buried within 48 hours then.
yeah, I mean, she was just remarkable. She was a dynamo. And Bisho, she was on my list of people I wanted to see before I died. Like, that was, yeah, we look so much alike. Wow, maybe that's it. Just a powerhouse. I mean, I haven't really processed this yet because I am not drinking till the weekend. But there is a video of her doing Last Day of Our Acquaintance, which is one of my favorite songs. There she is with hair right there. She's doing a Nirvana cover there. If you scroll up, that's her. But that's not a great. There's a picture of her with long hair in the mid '90s, and she's stunning. The Lion and the Cobra. These might be hard to find because look at her up there in the
These are the
belly shirt.
pictures.
Yeah, dude, she's good looking. She was gorgeous.
I mean,
She
she's
was just
very regular, man.
nah, man.
Gorgeous,
You gotta hear
come
her
on,
sing.
man. Not to be disrespectful, but
No,
you're reaching over here, man.
Yeah, you gotta hear her sing, dude.
Bit of a reach.
You couple that with her voice. Her voice is off the charts, bro. She's off the
I'm
charts.
sure she was amazing. I'm sure she was a good person, but
Yeah, no, actually, she wasn't a good person. That was
no,
kind of the whole thing.
she wasn't.
No, shot. She was
This
in
is
a lot
her?
of trouble. Yeah, she looks like Lena Dunham there.
Jesus, this is not her, right?
That's her. Yeah, that's
Wow.
her. Yeah, that's her, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Is that a
this
wig?
period.
That's
See her?
definitely a
No,
wig.
it's not a wig.
Dude, that's definitely
See
a
her
wig.
with the red shirt. I think she's got the long hair there. There's different periods of her life where she looks good. And look, she had a terrible life. She was the subject of rape and abuse in
Jesus.
Dublin at a time where this was just the way the world was in Northern Ireland. There she is. That's really her. That's her with the long hair. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. She looks like me. This is really distressing.
You know, I don't want to say it. This is too mean.
Just say it. It's fine. She can't
Who's
hear
it? Dr. Luther from AEW.
She looks like Dr. Luther. Wow. Yeah, she is. You know, a couple of years ago, her son died, and people close to her said she was going to commit suicide. And her older son, I forget his name, put a thing up and said, "Hey, I'm trying to get messages to my mom." And I sent her a message. I sent her I wrote a very long message to her, and I don't know if she ever saw it, but I was looking for it today. But I don't want to spend too much time on it because we have so much to get to. But she was a very important person in my history and in my inspiration for music. And Morrissey gets good press for the first time in like 20 years, basically bashing the music industry. Bisho, you read that. That was something, huh? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think I was on I don't want to say this publicly, but I was on a conference call the other day, bored out of my mind, and you sent that through, and I was like, holy shit, it perfectly summed up.
It's profound.
Perfectly summed up everything. And
that's everywhere, by the way. It's carried everywhere, So
and it's funny because I haven't seen any backlash on that either, because I think everyone realizes that holy shit, we did fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, think about like Britney Spears just had her big thing where everyone she was the darling and then everyone trashed her. And The Rock's starting to go through that now, where he was the coolest guy in the world. Now everyone fucking
he's rehabbing himself quite nicely, but yes.
Yeah. And so, like, this is not a standalone incident. It's not the last time it's going to happen, but fucking kudos to Morrissey for fucking calling that shit out.
Yeah. She sold 7 million records. And after she ripped up the picture of the Pope, she was banned. She was dropped. No one would let her tour. I think she was kicked out of the country. And they just never forgave her for it, dude. She was just never forgiven for it by not even just Catholics. We're talking by every religious organization in the world. Shunned her. Everyone shunned her, and that's why you never heard of her. How could you?
Well, I guess except Muslims.
Well, no, that was a more recent convert. Like, she recently converted in the later part of her life. Yeah, she was just a dynamo, and I am such a fan. I have all of her albums. I have everything she's ever done. And,
she like a pop singer? Like what kind of music?
No, she was an alternative singer. She touched on hip hop. She had MC Light on a song when she was nobody. Put Your Hands on Me on the remix. She covered Irish folk music. She shaved a Public Enemy symbol into her bald head when they were banned from the Grammys when they first came out because they were considered like anti-white, or they had that whole Professor Griff thing with the Jewish thing. And she was just like, Public Enemy released a statement about her. She was just always on the right side of shit. And she paid a huge price for it, and she was mentally ill. And she just couldn't get it together, man. It's sad. It's a brutal story. I just it's I'm not surprised, but I'm profoundly bothered by what happened to her. And the people are gonna remember her like Fat Elvis. Like, honestly, Bisho, like, seeing I was grateful people were sharing pictures of her when she was really pretty. I know that sounds a little shitty, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, because she's kind of been a punchline as far as
Yeah.
pop culture is concerned for a while. It's like, oh, this is what used to be. This is who used to be Sinead O'Connor, and
And
now
now
she
she's
looks like
Luther. Now she's
Roseanne.
Dr.
Yeah,
Luther.
I feel so fucking bad for
It's
saying
true.
that now,
I'm a lifelong fan.
but
I'm
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna probably. I haven't decided yet, but I think I'm gonna get something from her tattooed. Like, I was gonna get my apple tree, my brightness. But it's not her song. It's taken from an Irish, but that's from I'm Stretched on Your Grave. But it's other people have covered it. It's an Irish thing. But
It's another great performance too. Yeah.
oh yeah, that song's amazing. I listen to that song like 3, 4 times a week. I'm such a fan, and I love Lion and the Cobra. Ironically, the song I never listened to is her number one song by Prince. By the way, Prince was her mentor, and he wrote that song for her. And when they broke up, apparently he tied her up in a bathroom and left her there for 3 days.
Jesus.
Yeah, and
Why
other
is he canceled?
Prince had his trials and tribulations, but he's always had his
yeah, other way, yeah,
recognition as being a fucking legend while
yeah,
she was kind of shunned and
yeah.
not
And
believed.
by the way, Bisho, you're a Chili Peppers guy, right? You like the Chili Peppers, right?
Yeah, it depends on if I'm in the mood, but
The
they've
song
kind of a
"I
soft
Could
spot
Have
for that.
Lied," which is off the Blood Sugar Sex Magic, one of their biggest songs on that record, is about her. Anthony Kiedis was dating her after Prince. She was dating
Oh
Anthony
wow.
Kiedis, so she was a muse of like all these super famous men.
Damn, she
Um,
dated a lot of fucking famous people.
yeah, she was, dude.
Prince.
She was a dime piece, man. She was artistic and powerful, and like, she dated some of the biggest names in show business. Prince's vaginal resume, as you know, is no joke. We've covered this.
I'll take your word for it. I still don't
Prince,
know who she is.
yeah, no, but Prince. But I'm saying, but Prince is.
Oh, him. Yeah, yeah. He was. I
Yeah,
always thought I thought he was gay. I didn't know for the longest time he wasn't gay.
that's the guys who get the best looking women, Sha. Those are usually, isn't that right, Bisha?
I just do it for the pussy. Isn't that what Mr.
Yeah,
Garrison said?
yeah, I'm in it for the pussy. But I love you, Sinead. I will never forget you. Honest to God, I think you're a legend, and it's going to be interesting to see how like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Grammys pretend to care about you in the next year or two. But thank God for Morrissey. But listen, guys, we are coming off of possibly one of the biggest weekends in box office history. This is just off the charts, beyond expectations, beyond anything we talked about in the last few weeks. Clearly, we are talking about the Barbie Oppenheimer weekend that has just passed and is now going into its second week. Just enormous, enormous numbers. Barbie is looking like it's going to clear $1 billion very quickly and surpass every expectation. Now, full disclosure, Bisho, you have not seen either film, correct?
No, no.
Sha, you have not seen either film. Okay. So Friday, I went early last Friday to see Oppenheimer. I could not make it to the CGI, timing reasons. So I'll just tell a brief story about my experience. Now, the movie opened, I guess, Thursday night with Barbie, and this was planned that they were going to basically just destroy the box office. So I get to a 1 o'clock movie in my upstate movie theater to see Oppenheimer. I had already bought my ticket because it was very full, and it's unusual, especially 1 o'clock on a random Friday. When I got to the Regal and in the lobby, there was hundreds of people, hundreds of mostly young women dressed up, some men dressed up, with the women there trying to dress like Ken. Just, I mean, a sea at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Um, I couldn't believe it. I just could not fucking believe it. I waited on a very long line for my food. And then an interesting thing happened. I got my ticket. Obviously, I walked into my theater, which was halfway packed, and I was the youngest person in the theater. Like, I mean, by like maybe at least 10, 15 years. There was old couples everywhere in this fucking, like just everywhere. I couldn't sit, like I had to sit, have a shitty seat for a 3-hour movie. I'm actually surprised by that. Shah, are you surprised that all the old people went to Oppenheimer?
A little bit. I'm surprised old people went at all.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Just didn't seem
But
like
back to what you were saying as far as like the Barbie thing, dude, I live near a large movie theater that people travel to. It's been fucking crazy here.
you have
I
traffic.
mean, the whole strip mall is pink, from men to women
Wow.
to
Yeah.
babies. Like, yo, I don't know, man. This seems like this is like an event. You know what I mean?
It is an event.
Yeah. No, like a big time. Everybody's about it. Now it makes me want to see it. Kind of like I'm actually kind of intrigued by the whole thing.
B show
And
the
I've heard
hype
nothing
is real.
bad. Nothing bad about it.
Well,
And
we've heard a couple of bad things.
I mean, I can only speak for me. But
B show. I'm sorry, Shah. Go ahead.
I had no idea that the director directed Lady Bird, the A24.
Yeah,
movie.
Greta Gerwig. I love Lady Bird.
I didn't know she did
brilliant
that
movie.
Yeah.
She did Little Women. I think she might have been nominated for an Academy Award. It's not a movie I would really watch. It's Little Women, but I love Lady Bird. She's kind of like a Park Slope broad, Greta Gerwig. But now here's a funny thing. Before Bisha, I'm so sorry, but originally Amy Schumer was tied to this film.
No way.
Look it up. 100%. The rights switched over. Yeah, it was supposed to be for Amy Schumer. Yeah.
Oh.
There's just no way on earth this would have done what it did with Amy Schumer. There's just no way. But B-Show, the hype is beyond real, right? I mean, it just is.
It is because, like, yeah, of course you hear like, oh, it's against men. It's like it's a fucking Barbie movie. Come on. But I'm interested. I don't think I'll go to the movies to see it, but I'll probably check it out on streaming. You have to. I mean, a movie that big, like fucking Titanic. When Titanic was huge, everyone had to go see it just to see what the hype was about.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll probably check it out at some point. But I don't know, man. I'd rather see Oppenheimer, to be honest with you.
Now, do we have? I think it's at locally 534 mil. Do we know as of right now? And it's been out 6 days. That's what. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, the tweet you sent us earlier from Screen Time at Screen Time on Twitter says Barbie has earned $530 million at the worldwide box office as of July 27th.
What was the budget? Like 120?
I can find out.
I don't think it was more than 200. I highly, highly, highly doubt it. It was more than 200. I know it earned its money back in like 2 days.
Between 100 to 145 million.
Okay. So are you serious? Jeez. Shah, what do you think of that? It's just incredible, man. It's incredible, right?
I'm kind of surprised, but again, I'm kind of interested, man. Like I went into this week thinking this is a kids movie, not realizing this is a PG-13 movie.
Yeah, it seems like it has a little heaviness to it as far as like.
Well, it's PG-13. I would never think this is a PG-13 movie. And
you also have to remember the Barbie and Ken have no discernible parts, so when they take their clothes off, it's just blank. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. It's like,
wow, they take their clothes off?
No, of course not.
Well, they might in the movie. I don't fucking know. It's PG-13, dude.
Barbie takes her shoes off.
Barbie takes her shoes off. You do see feet, Shah. I know you like them feet.
Dude, Quentin Tarantino bought fucking tickets for Barbenheimer, and there were so many memes saying that the main reason he's getting
Oh,
they're saying the main reason that he went to Barbie is because they showed the girl's feet so many times.
So yeah, I mean, look, I'm curious about it. I don't have an interest to see it in a theater. I just don't, because it's riddled with like 16-year-olds and like, pink mini skirts and like talking and like thinking it's like, like the Rocky Horror. I don't want to go through that.
See, around my area, it's all ages. I saw like 45-year-old.
Well, this was just the opening day, guys. I think only because that's who's home during the day, old people and teenagers. Like that's why it was the middle of the day. Both my kids have seen it separately, and they're both going back this weekend. They love it. They're trying to get my wife to go. My wife is not really interested in it. It just doesn't speak to her in any capacity. But I would like to talk a little bit about Oppenheimer, which is also another rousing success. Bisho, do we have Oppenheimer's numbers? Because I know it's clearly not going to be close to Barbie, but as far as success goes, it's there. I mean, it's.
Yeah, this was from July 24th. It doesn't seem nearly as impressive, but it says their opening weekend, 3-day weekend, they did 82.4 million.
Okay. And they were supposed to do 80 million. If I'm not mistaken, they were supposed to do between 80 and 90. Is that
Yes.
global or is that domestic?
I can find out because this
Yeah,
is
I'm
what
just
you sent in.
curious. So I did see the film, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was one of those kind of movies that everyone talks about. Shot there's a half of it is black and not half, maybe a third of it is black and white, and it looks tremendous.
Oh, really?
Oh, it
That's
looks tremendous.
that's exciting. Hell
I
yeah.
will tell you this: if you are not a Marvel guy, but obviously you know Robert Downey Jr. This is the greatest thing he's ever done in his life. He is 100%
I
correct.
believe it.
My old Violet saw it, and they've seen Robert Downey Jr. in every facet in Marvel. She didn't know it was Robert Downey Jr. She just couldn't believe that that was him. That's how fucking off the charts it was. What do we got here, B?
209 million according to Collider.com.
And that's global.
Yes.
Okay, and I think that budget is definitely made at this point, right? It's definitely
Yeah, and it's interesting. This is the same as I think one of the movies we talked about last week, Mission Impossible, where it
right.
did okay stateside, but 114 million of the 209 that it did was international,
Wow,
which is
100
incredible
wow,
because I know
that's impressive.
like it was a worldwide event, but like I would think this is a more US centric movie in a way.
Well, there's a lot, there's a lot, it's not without controversy. So, obviously, there's some people that have strong feelings about how the U.S. dropping bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, is it glorified? I don't believe it's glorified in any way. I've seen the film. I will say this, just because I don't want to forget, because we did talk about it maybe in Patreon. The Florence Pugh nude scenes and the full frontal nude scenes were highly, highly exaggerated. That's all I'll say about that. They're there, but they're not nowhere near what was projected to people. And to be honest, I'm just going to say this: the Florence Pugh like nude scenes seemed a little unnecessary, and I know that seems a little crazy to say, but I need you guys need to see it just to understand the context. Like it didn't seem all one of them just didn't seem necessary at all. But
Did you do
man,
that?
what's that?
Did you do that, Shaw? That artwork?
No, it's just
Oh, I
like
was just gonna say he did. Wow,
No.
that's gorgeous, huh?
I'm thinking Barbie might be the biggest movie of the year though, because I mean, so far
It looks
Super
like it will be,
Mario.
yeah.
I think Super Mario did over $1 billion.
Yes.
I'm not sure about Spider-Man. I don't know if I know Guardians.
Guardians is in there. Spider-Man's in there. Fast and the Furious is in there. But the thing is, Barbie is going to do. I'll give you a for instance. Violet went to the only reason Violet saw Oppenheimer was because Barbie was sold out. This is on a Wednesday night. Who sells out movies on a Wednesday night in a small market? Right, Fisha? I mean,
No
I'm not in a
kidding.
major market.
I just sent through the link for the top 10 movies of 2023 so far.
Uh-huh.
Barbie is at number 1, 162 million. That's opening weekend. Sorry.
Opening weekend. Okay, yeah.
Super Mario made 146 opening weekend. Number 3 was Across the Spider-Verse at 120.
Wow.
Guardians.
Guardians.
Guardians is number 4 at 118. Ant-Man 3 at 106. Little Mermaid number 6 at 95 million. Oppenheimer at 84 million or 82 million. John Wick 4 at 73. Fast X at 67 and Transformers at 61.
Wow. Now here's a funny thing about Transformers, guys. It just hit Paramount Plus this week. It's already. You can already watch it. Of these films, I have seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've seen 6 of these 10. 5 in theaters. And I bought Super Mario. You guys haven't seen any of these, huh?
Well, I've seen Super Mario.
Oh yeah, we've all seen.
I love that. That's probably my favorite movie of the year.
Still my favorite. Yeah, Spider-Verse is good. I really think you'd like it. It's completely not like anything. There's nothing like it. Man. You'll love the art. There's nothing like it at all. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
I know, but it's the type of art that it's just like it's too clean looking. It's too digitized. It's just I don't know.
Well, there's variations of the art because they do. I don't want to give away too much in case you watch, but
they go through the phases of like Spider-Man.
Yeah, very.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I might enjoy it then. I don't know.
Black and white, old school art. That's all I'm gonna say. There's a couple things in there that are huge. You'll be like, what the fuck? Like those kind of moments. B-Show, you've seen what? You've seen a couple of these, right?
Just Super Mario.
That's interesting.
I was going to take my kid to see Across the Spider-Verse because he likes Spider-Man, but when we went to go, he wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, interesting.
It
Well,
was
look,
either that or a trampoline park. We went to a trampoline park instead.
yeah. How was trampoline park? Did it open a big weekend trampoline park?
It was huge. It
How
did
was the
great.
nude scene in trampoline park? Did somebody's ball pop out of their shorts?
She's in my part of town. You don't want to go to a new trampoline park.
No, I can only imagine. I can't believe that they might have reinforced Ohio trampolines.
Not in his small town, man. You don't want to go to the trampoline park.
Well, listen, look, just to kind of put a period on it here. Are either one of you going to see either one of these films in theaters? The two biggest movies probably of the year. Bisho, will you see either in films? Your daughter does not want to see Barbie. That's very interesting.
No, she wants to see Barbie, but we were waiting to see if it's appropriate, and she wanted to go with like my mom and
She wants to see it with other women. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
And I'll probably, if I don't end up seeing Oppenheimer in the next week or two, I'll probably watch it on VOD when it comes out.
Sha, will you see? I have a feeling you're going to see Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Well, I'm honestly gearing more towards Barbie at this point. I'm more curious about that.
Even with the Florence Pugh nude scenes, interesting.
Well, it's just the fact that it's 3 hours. Dude, I have a hard time.
Yeah, the third act is very different, and I did fall asleep a little bit. I did, but not like a teeny bit. I fell asleep.
Like, as much as I love Ari Aster, man, I had a rough time with But Was Afraid being.
I plan on watching that in 3 stages. Actually, I have it all planned out.
You got to watch that, dude. I'm surprised you haven't watched it yet.
I'm totally watching it. But yeah, it's great news for the industry at a time where the industry is in fucking free fall chaos. I mean, it just is. It's great news for the fucking business.
Yeah, Mission Impossible isn't. I mean, it's doing okay, but it's not doing nearly as much as they thought it was. So this is.
And I have a feeling there's going to be some pretty big numbers this weekend for both films. What do you guys think? What do you think, B?
Oh yeah, Barbie's everywhere, man. And I thought it was just a hype train because it was on like GMA and stuff like that, but it's still going. Like, I'm still seeing ads for Barbie. I saw a car ad for Barbie today when I was at the bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw car ads for Barbie, progressive ads for Barbie. Vagisil, there's Vagisil ads, which is weird because Barbie does not have a vag.
Oh, you still, yeah.
Dude, I was driving right before the show. And again, that movie theater that I was talking about, it's a Thursday, 5:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Shit is packed.
Yeah.
Packed. Everyone's pink.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I probably would enjoy it. I like Margot Robbie. I like Greta Gerwig, and I do think it's kind of funny that there was that whole thing. I think we talked about it a little bit where people were saying Margot Robbie wasn't attractive enough to play Barbie. You still don't understand.
Yeah, people are calling her mid.
Yeah, right? Like she's not pretty enough to be Barbie.
Yeah, I can't understand that.
I don't understand that at all.
She looks like somebody else too. I can't.
She's cute, man. I don't fuck that, man. She's a good looking lady.
She is. No, she reminds me of Jamie Presley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what it was.
Jamie Presley's got a slight tinge of horsey face. Slight. Like maybe she has horse in some of her lineage.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah, she's a little like she's small. She's like, oh, this is like a segue. She's like small town hot, like Margot, and Margot Robbie's been around for a little bit. She's done a lot of shit. I mean, she's tied to some shit. And Will Smith apparently fucked her when they were shooting the fucking Suicide Squad. That was like everybody was saying that. Good for him. I hope he did. I hope he did.
Every time his bitch wife wants to fucking come at him, he just holds up a picture
of Harley Quinn.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you know that shot? Yeah, apparently, Will Smith was fucking her when they were shooting the Suicide Squad.
Really? I mean, she's definitely good looking, but I agree. She's like small town, Aldean town type.
Well, no, I said Jamie Presley is like Aldean.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She looks like she's from Aldean's neighborhood, dude.
Yeah, and to think that Amy Schumer, and look, I know everybody makes fun of Amy Schumer.
Dude, that's a solid move that they took her out, man. Come on, man. We nobody.
Well, if she would have made like an R-rated fucked up version, that could have been some crazy.
No, it would have been funny, but it would have not had this hype behind it that it does now.
Come on. Like, I'll tell you what, the porn parody is going to be huge. I'm excited.
It would have been a cult movie, but it would have taken some time. It would have been a box office fail if Amy Schumer. I'm telling you, dude, it wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah. And Will Ferrell is the villain in it. He's the evil Mattel executive, and and Ben Shapiro burned a whole bunch of Barbies because he didn't like the movie. That's a weird flex.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, I heard he
did like an hour on it. He did a whole hour on it.
Well, I heard he saw Ken dial and he was, jealous of the size of Ken's dick next to his.
It's just so funny. It's
Okay,
like I
yeah,
really don't
sure.
have a bugaboo one way or the other about my It's just like whatever. But like I just think
That's
it's so
ridiculous.
funny. Like it's just such a stupid thing to like. It's just dumb. Like it's dumb. I don't know. Like you're burning Barbie dolls because you think the movie is, I don't know, gonna make
Yeah, it's
people
such a weird
gay or something.
fucking
Like I don't
thing.
even know what the argument is, but it's just a dumb flex. I don't know. I just thought that
And
was
these are
funny.
guys that talk about like what men need to be and like
Like what did he like?
alphas and
I
betas.
mean,
Yeah.
like there was no way he would have liked that movie. It just doesn't seem, he's a very joyless guy. But I just thought that was funny. But there's the other big media story. We have to talk about it. It's in the music industry. It's just burning through social media for days. I am very unfamiliar with all of this, and I know Shah is too. So B Show, we're gonna have to lean on you as the Midwest guy because Midwest people love country. Now I happen to live in an area where country music is probably the biggest music. Upstate New York, for people who don't know, there's a lot of people in upstate New York who think this is the South for some reason. I haven't figured this out. Don't know what that's about.
Same with Pennsylvania. They
Same
swear
with
this is the
Pennsylvania.
South. Yes.
There's this weird thing, and B Show, like you're in the Midwest, but there's this weird thing where the further you get away from a town, you think you're in like the Confederacy, like for some reason. I'm sure you run into this in the Midwest.
Dude,
Well,
you
it's not
make the
just the
wrong
Midwest.
turn.
It's like you go north into Michigan and people think they're in the fucking deep south of Georgia or something. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah. I've
In
been
parts
playing
of
Michigan.
Pennsylvania, dude, if you make the wrong turn, you will
Pennsyltucky.
swear you're in Alabama. Like,
That's why they call it Pennsyltucky. So it's
crazy.
very strange. So, but I'm talking about more of that mainstream country that sounds literally just like Taylor Swift, that I don't know the difference between Taylor Swift and the country singer, or like the random country guy who sings like he's just singing a regular song, but his jeans are super tight and he's got a truck. So
And they're bedazzled.
and they're bedazzled. Yeah, they love bedazzling things. But yeah, so like I'm in an area where country is enormous. And this is just a side note because we are going to talk about the Jason Aldean. He's playing my area this weekend.
Dude, same. He's here this weekend too. I think it's either this weekend or next
because we're in the
weekend.
Northeast. I think it's sold out. He'll be here. There's a lot of excited people who are glad to be among a lot of white people that'll be there, I'm sure. But listen, full disclosure, I don't know a lot about this man. I don't listen to country. I have no discernible other than what's going on with him. I completely forgot, which seems very shitty, but he was the subject of that mass shooting shot in Vegas. That was his concert a bunch of years ago. Where was it, Beach? Like 70 something people were killed?
Something like that. And
that was the shooter who managed to get like G.I. Joe weapons up into a hotel unbeknownst to nobody. Nobody figured this out, and just shot 70 people at a free. I don't even know if it was free. He was playing outside in Vegas, and he just lit the fucking crowd up. So this guy's been involved. Was an apparent victim. He was almost a victim of a mass shooting. Now, B Show, I know he's probably very popular in your neck of the woods. Prior to this controversy, were you familiar with this guy? Because me and Shah definitely were not.
Oh yeah, he's one of these guys who he sings songs about places that he never really live in, and he picks out words that he thinks dumb Southern people will register with emotionally.
Very easy.
And
target.
Wears like $10,000 outfits and wears
just
a cowboy
like just like the guy working at the gas station does.
Yeah, except he lives in Nashville and he says he like down. You know what I mean?
Where's he from? Where is he actually from? Do we know where
he's from, or where does he live?
No, I actually know where he's from. I did my research on this guy.
Okay.
He's actually from my stepfather's town. He's from Macon, Georgia, which is not a fucking small town.
All right,
it's not a small town.
I mean, I know I've heard of Macon, Georgia.
Well, there's like 100,000 people or 150,000 people.
It's not a small town, dude. I've been to Macon, Georgia several times.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, Macon. I don't know how close it is.
Let's get this straight. When he's talking about small towns, you're thinking about places out here where you drive through and there's like 1,000 people max in them.
Like John Cougar was from a small town in Indiana. He was from fucking a tiny ass, and that's literally where he, and still lives. 70 years old, still fucking lives there. He's a multi-millionaire.
Like Dave Chappelle lives on a farm in Southern Ohio.
In Southern Ohio, right? He's not even from there. I think he was raised mostly in D.C., but he lives in a small town in Ohio. There's some famous people who do that shit. They're not a lot. There's very fucking few of them. But I never heard of this guy.
He kind of reminds me of Toby Keith in a way, just that pandering and great. I heard this quote recently. Chris Christopherson, actor, country music legend.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big actual like civil rights person and activist.
He once said about Toby Keith, he said, Toby Keith did to country music what nylons did to finger fucking.
Jesus Christ. That dude's a bad. Chris Christopherson is a bad motherfucker, dude. He's a bad
Yeah,
dude.
there's another story I'll send you guys later about
Yeah,
that.
no, he was like the only celebrity who backed Sinead O'Connor like at the time too. He's a bad motherfucker. So look, I don't know a lot about this guy. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm well versed in him. Here's what I know. The guy makes a video for a song called Try That in a Small Town, and he purposely pulls footage from 2020, riots, protests, people spitting on police and all this other shit. Very divisive thing. These things did happen. It's real footage. It's not fake. But, I don't know why we would want to rehash 2020 and 2023.
Filmed
I
it on
just
the
don't.
steps of the State House building where they used to do lynchings. Yeah.
Yeah. Where was that? That was a big part of the video too. I heard.
Well,
because
dude, I did so much research on this because I was just fascinated.
Well, the song came out in May. Which is another strange thing. I don't. All of this is odd.
It's a marketing scheme because it came out in May and nobody gave a shit about it. But once you put the video to it, now it's the number one.
But shot usually videos are shot like around the time the album is shot. Like that's just this is he's a mainstream country artist. He's not going to make a video long term after a finished album.
To be fair, though, in the clips that he included, it wasn't like he singled out black people spitting on.
No, and that's a misnomer. That is actually unfair. Yeah, that's unfair.
But at the same time, it's like, dude, if you're gonna include this shit, you should include the insurrection because,
yes,
January 6th,
interesting. I didn't think of that.
No, but that's what makes it one-sided and makes it kind of iffy because it's like, dude, if you're actually just about being lawful, hold on a second. If you're just all about being lawful and wanting to maintain the peace and safety, and then you should talk about the insurrection too. Now, obviously, he doesn't because of his political stance. I didn't know much about the guy, but clearly he's been open about being on the right, kind of probably on an extreme.
Well, that's his audience. I mean, that's country music.
Understandably so, yeah. But what I'm just saying is him not including that kind of does make it look a little iffy. But to his credit, there was tons of white people in those riots. And
there was actually. There's quite a bit.
And I saw a bunch of people saying Hannah Montana's show had several episodes shot at the same courthouse. I'm like, dude, you can't compare a Hannah Montana. I mean, it's context. This guy's talking about certain things. He's showing the BLM riots.
Right.
And showing a lynching site, that's a connection right there. Hannah Montana doesn't have any kind of, racist undertones or any kind of topics that she's discussing that would have anything to do with the lynching.
To my knowledge, that would be an interesting episode of Hannah Montana.
Yeah, right?
A lynching episode.
Very weird.
Hannah Montana, the lynching episode, they call it.
I'll tell you what, though,
episode.
You guys will be fascinated because out of curiosity, I typed in on YouTube people's reactions, and I literally, I'm not even joking, I watched about 50 people react to this song.
Okay.
And oddly enough, about 48 of them were black.
Yeah.
Right?
There is and by the way, that's an unfair misnomer too. There's a tons of TikTok videos of black people saying they love the song. Did you know that, B-Show? Because they're very popular.
Yes, and I also saw a bunch of white rednecks saying, "You think you speak for all of us, but you don't." So it's such
very
a
true.
bag, man.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. Well, here's the interesting thing. I heard the song. I didn't watch the video. I wanted to hear the song. It is a mediocre country pop song, incredibly mediocre. Seems like it was written very quickly. Like you can tell by the iambic pentameter. It seems very mediocre. So even just the lyrics in the song, which might be considered divisive, still mediocre, right?
Right.
People lost their shit over this, which is really fascinating to me because all it did was make the song and video more popular. I don't know if that's a very interesting protest.
Yeah, it's a huge hit right now.
It's enormous. I mean, I think it's got 100 million views, 116 million views. B-Show, mediocre song was never getting 116 million YouTube views.
No, it is the same reason that Ben Shapiro roasted Barbie, because it's all outrage stoking. That's what it is. It's marketing based on outrage. Yeah. And we were sitting earlier. My wife had a bad day, so we went up and got some dinner.
So you listened to Jason Aldean, calm her down.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't him, but it might as well have been because They're the same. Like you're talking about the fucking
plug and play.
Same exact shit.
Same
every
shit.
song. Oh my God, it's terrible. So we're sitting there at dinner, and I'm like, look, I'm trying because I know you had a bad day. This is the worst fucking music list I've ever heard at a bar, and it was all this same type of shit. Yeah,
I don't get it. I mean, listen, I'm a music snob. I'm a music snob. Okay, I judge people almost entirely on two things in life: what they look like and the music they listen to.
And animals, how they treat animals.
I'm serious. I'll even if you like I don't. I'm just saying, like, all right, the looks as I get older, it's not really not a thing. But the music, like, I'm very, like, I swear to God, like, I'm not even making this up. I have to come to Jesus with this moment right now. One of my biggest reasons for not going out more socially as I get older is because I don't want to be in places with bad music. I swear to God, like, I'm not even a little bit kidding. I'm so fucking particular, like, about if I'm going to be audibly fucking integrated with fucking awful music. I don't want to be, it ruins it for me. It fucking ruins everything for me. I just take it too seriously. It's too big of a part of my life.
Right.
And I have an emotional investment in it outside of joy. Like, it's not joyous for me.
No,
So if my neighbors go, hey, let's go to the fucking the beer hut and blah 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 blah, and I'm gonna be like, oh God, they're gonna be playing bad music in this motherfucker. It's gonna make me want to leave. Like, you know what I mean, B-Show? Like, I can't get out of that zone. Like, it bothers me.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like even when we hang out with neighbors, like sometimes I don't like
Perfect
hanging out with
example.
certain neighbors
Yeah.
because I know what kind of music they listen to.
Yeah.
And like it's almost a cock tease too, because like we went to the bar tonight and they played like this cool NXS song I've never heard, and it sounded kind of new wavy. I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. And then it went right into all the stupid stadium country shit.
Stadium, yeah. What do they call that modern? Is it stadium country? Is
Stadium
it like
country? Yeah.
I don't know if you guys knew this either, but he didn't even write the song.
Of course he didn't write this.
No.
Yeah, it was 5 other people that wrote it. So it's not even like really his song. He's just...
It's a mediocre song. That's all I'm saying. And look, I don't have a problem. Look, if he wants to make a mediocre song about living in a small town while not living in a small town to stoke his base, that's what everybody does. Like, this is not new.
Do you think it's a reach though? Do you think people are reaching with the racist undertones and all
a little
that?
bit, yeah.
In the song, I didn't find anything.
I didn't find it in the song at all. I feel like the song is one thing and the video is something else.
And as someone pointed out to me, even though it was shot at the town square in front of the Maury County Courthouse in Columbia, Tennessee, where the Columbia race riot began in '46.
Jesus.
I said it to someone the other day who's a country fan.
Why would you do that though?
Well, hang on. I said that to a buddy of mine. He's like, yeah, but name a southern courthouse where lynchings didn't take place.
That was my point. Because like it's like, if you shoot anything down south at a fucking monument, like there's gonna be some history there, chances are.
I just don't, but like, why would you okay
well, also another thing, apparently the courthouse is right by his house, so that may be...
Motherfucker, shoot it in a small town, shoot it in the town, shoot it in like a regular little ass town, shoot it on a main street cul-de-sac in front of some small houses, shoot it in a trailer park. If he would have shot that shit in a trailer park and invited everybody from all over the fucking...
Like Kid Rock's Bawa to Ba when he's standing on top of the trailer.
But yeah, by the way, that's not a bad video. That's actually a pretty good video. That's actually works with that song. Like they're motocrossing and shit. Like, and it's a snapshot in time. It's fucking 30 years ago. But I'm just saying, and look, I understand. The thing that I find fascinating about this Jason Aldean is, do you know who's the most mad at this? Is the whites. White people are losing their mind, distancing themselves from a guy that they probably didn't.
I barely.
It's all white people. I haven't seen anybody.
Any black people complaining about this?
None. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying I haven't seen it.
Out of like the 50 people that I watched on YouTube, I told you most were black. I didn't find a single one that found it offensive.
It's people that already probably don't like the guy. That's another thing too.
And I don't even like the guy. I'm just being fair. Like,
I just think his music is incredibly mediocre. Now, I will say this prior to what just happened yesterday, which we'll get to in a second. I like the fact that he stood his ground with it. I respect that. And I think you have to do that. There's too much apologizing. There's too much capitulating. Be about it. If you want to be about it, be about it. Like Lizzo taking fucking spaz out and apologizing. Oh, I got to get this out of my song. Like we need more doubling down. Whether I agree with it or not, I like that he doubled down. I don't like the guy. I don't know dick about him. He basically said, I am not a fucking racist. I am not a pro-lynching person. This is absolutely not who the fuck I am. And
yeah, but he also never explained why he shot it at the courthouse. You know what I mean? Like that's the one thing.
I'm having a tough time getting around the courthouse.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem with the video. People are like, "Well, why did you shoot it there?" And he's look at this whole fucking statement. He explains everything, but why he shot it at the courthouse.
He might. By the way, but I just want to break the fourth wall here for a minute. You realize he doesn't pick where the video is, right? Like people are paid to do this. They probably paid people. The person who directed that video, or probably didn't even pick the location. The people who paid for the video, like the label or the producers, the artist you don't make your own video. He's not you too.
I bet a producer or someone went with like a location scout around where he
probably
was.
Said this would look good on camera.
It's a cool looking building.
Yeah, look good on camera. Yeah.
Well, it's also like what he represents, like the very American vibe, American flags.
I still don't get it. I would have done more research. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you probably should.
I would have done more research.
But I also could believe that he did it on purpose for racial undertones. Because
I don't know. I got to tell you, that's fucking.
But that's what musicians, dude. You're a musician as artists. Me as an artist, right?
I didn't have a say in my liner notes, because I didn't pay for it. Somebody else did.
Don't you? Everything that you do is for a reason, right? Every lyric that you put either has subliminals. There's reasons. If you shoot a video, the visuals are going to represent subliminals and hidden messages. That's what artists do. So it's hard for me to believe this guy just fucking shot it there for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, it's weird.
He did zero research. They typically
it's a valid criticism. Of all the criticisms, that is my strongest criticism.
That's my only one. Yeah.
That's and the song is mediocre.
Oh, yeah, the song talks.
It's mediocre. It's a mediocre.
And I gotta be honest.
Should not be a #1 country song. Shouldn't be anywhere
when he
near
said
a
"good old
#1.
boys" in the song, dude, I fucking cringed so hard when he was like "us good old boy." I was like, oh man, this guy.
Yeah. I look. The bottom line is this: people are getting very upset about it. He had to take 7 minutes out of some Black Lives Matter footage, apparently not because he capitulated, but because they didn't own the footage and they didn't get the permission. So this seems like there is so you can also believe that nobody did the research on the courthouse. I mean, how do you not they took footage from like 80 different places. Nobody checked the copyrights of some of this footage.
And didn't they get caught taking it from like international rights too?
One of them is from Italy or Germany or something. Like it's not even from America. It's just, look, country people are stupid sometimes. What I can tell you, I don't think it's an indictment on everybody who likes the music. I don't know the man. I think it's very shitty to call someone you don't know a racist, but I think it's playing to the base. 2020 was a disgusting year. I don't know why we need to rehash it in 2023. No one in 2023 is trying to get back to that place. No one. Everyone is trying to move forward.
I also think it was kind of a cheap move to incorporate that last little piece where there's a farmer saying like, oh, you know, if one of our neighbors, the video at the end, he has like a little 20-second bit with like a country farmer where he's like, oh, if our neighbors need food, we'll sell all our supplies or put it down and help them out. Because I was like, yo, you put that at the end and now that kind of, you know, like makes it look like the whole song is about supporting each other as neighbors and a friendly.
Well, then just show that footage.
But that's not what it's about, though. You're kind of
people saving people in floods. Show people showing up after tornadoes.
But I mean, it's just talking about violence, and I get it. He means like self-defense, but he's also talking about returning violence with violence. So like, it's not.
Well, I don't think that guy's beating anybody up anytime soon.
No, he looks like Guy Ritchie or whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
Did you see what happened at the shooting?
No, I don't know. He didn't tell the.
I don't know if this is a fair criticism, but
I don't think. I mean, look, it's a fucking mass shooting. Your behavior is not really a good. I'm just saying.
The knock was he didn't like warn anybody as he's on mic. He just ran. But to be honest with you, if I hear shots, I'm fucking wrong.
Yeah, what was he supposed to do? Let me stand here and see where the shots are coming from and direct everybody because they could have been going for all you know, that guy was going for him. By the way, for all you know, that guy was going for him. You don't fucking know.
Yeah, honestly. Probably was. I mean, that's what I don't know, man. I feel like that's a natural reaction to have.
Yeah, run. Yeah. I mean, you know, he's not Spider-Man. I mean, he's not. I was Spider-Man.
No, he's not black.
He was trying to say he was disappointed when he found out the shooter was a white guy.
I think he was disappointed when he found out Spider-Man is
like
black.
Me. I just don't get how people listen to this music and go, yeah, this is like Sinead O'Connor. This is like Morrissey. This is like
You know he
Beatles.
was pissed about fucking Little Mermaid and Spider-Man being black.
He
though.
should have made a song about the Little Mermaid, like try being that mermaid in my town.
She probably can't even swim at the neighborhood pool.
It's probably not a good idea. But I'm just saying, mediocre guy, mediocre talent. The outrage seems fake. I feel like the outrage is as fake as his country ties. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of villains in this story. Listen, before we go to Patreon, I want to talk about this because I'm excited, but I have some pause, some trepidation about a movie that we're going to probably be talking about a lot at some point this year, especially in the fall when it comes out. The Exorcist sequel, the trailer leaked this weekend in front of Oppenheimer and Barbie. It's called The Exorcist Believer. Okay. Now I'm going to say this because I saw this in a movie theater, in a packed movie theater. Okay. I obviously didn't know I was going to see this trailer. It was a shock. Like I just was like, holy, I got dialed in fucking immediately. I remember as soon as I realized what I was seeing. I'm going to say this, and then I might back off this as time moves on. I was very unimpressed with the Exorcist trailer. And not only was I unimpressed, the audience, when they realized what this was at the end, and that this is an older, packed audience, literally audibly groaned. I have never really seen that in the theater before. I'm dead serious, Shaw. They fucking like, oh. And I was like, yo, people just groaned. And these are motherfuckers who probably saw The Exorcist possibly in movie theaters. They're so fucking old. They definitely know the fucking movie, right? I was not impressed. I didn't know this was going to be a twofer. That seems a little odd to me. I know that the trailer just dropped. Many people haven't seen it. Shah, I want to get your opinion because you're a fucking huge fan of the fucking original movie.
To be honest with you, I thought it looked pretty fucking good. I was happy with it. I thought like the makeup effects looked great. I thought it was pretty creepy. I don't know how I feel about two girls being possessed at the same time and somehow
two girls, one demon.
But it's different, so I don't know if they. I don't know.
It's the title of this.
One demon.
Two girls, one demon.
That should be on a shirt.
Two girls, one demon.
Yeah. It's the first Break the Apocalypse release t-shirt.
Two girls, one demon.
There you go.
No, Shah, I thought of you immediately. I swear to God, I was tempted to text it to you and be like, but it was in the middle of this giant theater.
What didn't you like about it? Just the aspect of
Blumhousey. Very PG-13y, Blumhousey, modern-y. It didn't capture anything.
But it is rated R, right?
Don't know.
No, it has.
Can we look that up?
Definitely is.
Blumhouse don't make a lot of rated R.
Yeah,
Shah,
dude, they did the Halloween movies, right?
That's Halloween.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's
okay,
Halloween.
but I'm just saying. And this is David Gordon Green, who just did same guy. Okay. I'm shocked.
Halloween was violent though. Like
Halloween was sick violent in some ways.
That's what I'm saying. So that was Blumhouse. So it doesn't. I mean,
but Exorcist, I'm not looking for violence. I'm looking for that scare of the demonic possession, the uncomfortableness. Yeah. Some of it looked okay. The shit in the church was like something in the blood. That was dope. That was dope as fuck. B-Show, did you watch the trailer?
I did not.
But you're not a huge Exorcist guy, are you?
No, I mean, I appreciate it, but like that was one of the first scary movies I watched. I thought it was funny as hell and was laughing. I'll be honest with you. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about this, and I mentioned it, but really didn't get the point out the way I wanted to. But as soon as I heard it was Blumhouse, and it was this returning woman comes back, it was like this is Halloween all over again.
Well, what about David Gordon Green? I don't really know your vibe there because Halloween is like your jam, and you are not.
So go ahead.
No, I was going to say you were not as hypercritical as I think I was, and maybe Shah was, of the reboots.
No, I didn't like the reboots that much. I liked Halloween Kills just for the brutality because it was something different. But it completely set up nothing to the next movie except for then they did the switcheroo. I was not a fan of his take on a lot of the stuff, but it was Halloween, so I fucking.
That's what I'm saying. But you're a Halloween apologist.
Yeah. Like, even some of the worst sequels, I still enjoy watching.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Sha, I'm very surprised. I expected you to go, this is a little too Blumhouse for me.
Well, I went into it expecting Blumhouse because it is a Blumhouse movie. But I mean, I thought it looks pretty good. Like, I mean, the shot from both of them being possessed from up above, I thought that looked
Will
really
they
good.
share the heartbeat?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought that
that's
looked
a
pretty
cool
good.
idea.
The church, I thought that was
The
probably
church thing I liked quite a
probably a
bit. Be
good
sure you
setup
need to
for a
see
good
the
scene.
trailer. Like it's got some decent shit in there, but the overall
And they look
vibe.
creepy. Like, they look creepy in
Look
the
all right.
movie. I
They
thought
look
they looked
okay.
pretty good.
I don't know. My brother Mike had a Necromaniacs. Mike had a when I sent it to him, and I told him what the audience said. He said, whatchamacallit? He said they showed too much in the trailer. Again, what did you think
No, I
about
agree
that?
with that because I feel like I like those trailers that literally just tease you. Like, it's an
Mhm.
actual tease, where they don't show 45 cuts of different scenes. They show the setup for a specific scene, and that's the trailer. And you're like, oh shit, I want to see that now.
Now, there's something I have to credit Uncle Creepy with this, guys, who we'll talk about in Patreon a little bit. Did you see what Uncle Creepy found was the faux
Oh
pas
yeah,
in the
yeah.
trailer? This is
Yeah.
Bisha, did you hear about this?
Yeah, I did. Go ahead.
No, Shot, tell them what happened in the
Well,
trailer.
you probably know better than me because I can't recall what
So
movie
this is kind of
they took it
amazing.
from.
This is really great. So for people that don't know, The Exorcist, probably one of the first mainstream scary films to be successful in mainstream.
Yeah.
Linda Blair played Reagan, the young girl who was possessed by the demon, and Ellen Bernstein was the mother. In this sequel, the modern sequel, they reference that this has happened before, the two girls, one demon situation, and they show Ellen Bernstein now, who's like almost 80 years old, and they bring her back. But they show a picture of Linda Blair, presumably from that time period when she was the character Reagan, possessed. The only problem is the picture they use in this fucking $100 million movie is not from Linda Blair and The Exorcist, but from a different movie that she was in that has nothing to do with The
Was it
Exorcist.
the
It
drunken
wasn't Savage
teenager or
Streets.
something?
What movie was it?
No, it's a
Drunk?
movie she did after. It's not Savage Streets, but it's just nobody. Like again, like we talked about the Jason Aldean thing and no one doing their research. No one. You didn't take a picture of her from the fucking movie. That this is.
What was the name of the movie? The drunk teenager or something?
It was something about like just like teenage drinking or teenage
Yeah, it was
drugs or something. And I couldn't believe that. That's kind of shocking. Like who discussed? Like B-Show.
Oh, Sarah, portrait of a teenage alcoholic.
Yeah, there you go.
Why
That sounds like a dope movie too. I want to see.
By the way, I want to see that movie. That sounds
Yeah,
really cool,
hell
especially
yeah.
in the 70s. But like B-Show, we talked about like how did nobody know this when they did this? How did nobody know that the picture they're using, which is clearly from the film, it's not just in the fucking trailer, it's from the
Right.
goddamn movie. This
They
is gonna
did
be
as
in the
much
movie.
research as Jason Aldean did on his video.
Like, did Jason Aldean's producers, his video director, pull the clips?
Did they make this movie?
How can we blame Jason Aldean for this movie?
Even Linda Blair, how did she not comment on that herself? I'm sure she watched the movie. Like, wouldn't she be like, "Whoa, that's the cover to my other movie"?
This is the same studio that's owned the movie for like fucking 45 years.
Yeah.
No one recognized that this isn't from the franchise.
Wow. Blows my mind.
Could you imagine? We talked about Halloween. Could you imagine they go Halloween 20 years ago? Laurie Strode, blah blah blah, and they flash it. It's a picture of her in fucking Lederhosen from Coming to
or they show Rob Zombie's Mike Myers. Like, that's what it would be like. Like it's just like no one researched this. Like who? How does that happen?
Honestly. Yeah, it's definitely a fail on their part, man. That's kind of.
This is why there's no sympathy for the fucking strike right now. I'm telling you.
This is why. Yeah, it's shit like this because some regular dude found this and said that doesn't look like Linda Blair from the Exorcist movie. Doesn't even look like her from the.
Well, it was literally the cover to the movie.
The cover to the.
It's not even like a random shot. It's the actual poster from the movie.
Yeah, it's the cover to the movie that no one heard of that's preceded The Exorcist.
That's wild, man. How do you?
Somebody should get. Honestly, that's kind of fucking embarrassing. Don't you think, B-Show? Like that is a fucking major fuck up.
Yeah, how do you do that?
I don't know. This is what I'm trying to say. Like it doesn't.
Unless they thought nobody saw that movie and no one would notice, but it's 2023.
I will bet anything on my life that however that works from a production standpoint, that is a flat out fucking mistake, right, Shad? There's no way that's intentional.
This is the picture that they use.
That's from the goddamn trailer.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
I tweeted the tweet from Uncle Creepy, by the way, too. Or
yeah,
put it.
That's literally the picture that they have on the
yeah.
dress.
By the way, Shad, she looks nothing like this in The Exorcist.
And yo, guess what? This is literally the IMDb page. Like,
maybe that's where he got it from.
It's literally the IMDb page.
Dude, you know what's going to be funny if there's a scene in the movie where they're researching the demon and the mother, and they just pull up IMDb.
Wow. That's embarrassing,
dude. I gotta say, big. That's like wearing the wristwatch in Braveheart. Fuck up, like honestly. Like that's, dude. And you know what's funny? We're all. I mean, I know Shah's 100% seeing that when it comes out. I'm
going like the day.
I'm 100 like opening day. I might be there. Like that's how I feel about that shit. But I'll say this: I'm gonna be waiting for that scene so deep. Like I'm gonna be all over that scene. Like, I cannot wait to see that fucking shit. I am dying to see that in a goddamn movie theater. But Shah, I mean, I have trepidations, man. You're sold. You're good to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a fair shot. It interested me enough to go into it without a bad taste in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And what about
you? Very Blumhousey though, like the fucking. But I charge that up to, Exorcist always had a green tone to the movie, like a green bluish, tone to the whole film. So, and that's what Blumhouse does. Like all their movies are blue or fucking green.
Explain that to people that might not understand what the fuck that means.
Just overall, the color palette that they would use for the film. Like if you pay attention to The Exorcist, like the background, the wallpaper's blue, her dress is blue. They usually go for themes that have to do with a certain color. Even a movie like The Cook, The Thief, whatever.
His wife
movie.
And Her Lover?
Yeah, like red. If you look at it, the whole fucking movie's red,
Is Home Alone. Everything's red and green. Yeah.
Even like Gaspar Noé. You look at all his films, Gaspar Noé's films are predominantly red and green. If you look at Climax, if you look at all those movies, look at them. If you go back on it, everything is red. The floors are red. Everything is red.
Everything is red?
Damn near everything's in red, man.
Well, but the difference
Irreversible. Look at Irreversible. The tunnel, pure red. The whole.
Yes, okay. Now I'm on board with that shit. I get that. But for sure,
dude, go back and even just watch the trailer. You'll see that the color palettes are green and red, and he does it for a reason because he wants to set the mood. Like those are. I forget what it was. I don't want to misquote him.
I'm sure. I'm sure there's a reason.
Red and green are the two hardest colors for the iris to see at the same time. So it's unsettling.
Is that why they do it?
That's why Freddy's sweater was red and green. Yeah.
You're kidding.
So there you go. There's like
Big Show, you were smart.
Wet trade
direct the Jason Aldean videos smart. You're like that kind of smart.
I'll make it all red, white, and blue and gunmetal. How about that?
Yeah. Jason Aldean should hire you, man.
Do you think Jason Aldean is doing the theme song to The Two Girls, One Demon? Try taking over, try Satan in my town. There's just Jesus in my town.
I can see that song too. Try Satan in my town.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make you a believer.
And it's called Believer or Believers, plural. Yeah. Believer. Well, it comes out in October. We still don't know if it's R-rated or not. I will go see it opening weekend, 100%. I'm going into it with an open mind. I just feel like the two-girl thing is why? Like why? What? Like okay, dual possessions. You know what I mean? Some people are a little annoyed that Ellen Bernstein's in it. They think that's a little bit of a weird. I don't know. That doesn't bother. Does that bother you, Shah? As a huge fan of the original?
No, I like how they're bringing some of the characters back. Even if it's just for a quick cameo. That I think is for the movie.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That might end up being one of the bigger horror properties, or even like properties of the year. I mean, it's the goddamn Exorcist. We haven't had a good Exorcist movie. I just watched a video of what's his face, the guy who wrote The Exorcist, talking about how bad Exorcist 2 was, and people like wanted to beat up the directors.
I love the what is it? The Heretic? Is that
Heretic? Is that Heretic? Exorcist 2, the Heretic?
I love that fucking. I don't care what anybody says, man.
I like Omen 3. I like the third. I like Final Conflict.
The locust scene and the flashback.
Oh, you're talking about the third Exorcist with what's his face?
No, that's the second one, dude. Second one.
How many Exorcists are there?
3.
Exorcist 2, Electric Boogaloo, right? No, that's Breaking.
I think
that's Breaking.
The third one is actually like
has decent. Nothing to do with the previous two.
No, it does. I think it's no. It's
Is
the
that
prequel.
with Brad Dourif?
Hmm.
I
Where
don't
they
know,
have
but I
that
think
cool scene
it's
with the thing. Bisha, would you mind just pulling up the Exorcist movies before we head
yeah.
over to
Exorcist
Patreon?
3 has the one with the
That's the
scene with the
Heretic.
spear.
What's Exorcist 2 called?
No, Exorcist 2 is the heretic. Exorcist
Yeah.
3 is just Exorcist 3.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
who's
what I'm
in
saying.
Exorcist 3? Is that James what's his face? Scott, what the fuck is his name?
George C.
George
Scott,
C. Scott. That's a
Brad
culty
Dourif,
movie. Brad
Brad
Dourif.
Dourif. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
has
that's
one
what
of the
I'm saying.
coolest kill scenes of all time.
Third one is actually popular. The second one is the one that's hated.
Yeah,
But
well,
I like the second one.
the third one is a cult movie. If you've never seen it, you guys need to see it. There is a kill scene in a hospital that is so uncomfortable with
Yeah, with the
fucking
shears, dude.
shears.
Yeah.
Yeah, people talk about that shit all the fucking beach show. You never seen that kill scene?
Mm-mm.
Epic. Epic. And George C. Scott is selling this movie like it's an Academy Award movie.
People voted it, I think, on what was it, Bloody Disgusting, one of those sites, as the best jump scare of all
The
time.
best jump scare. Yeah, it's up there. And it was
I would say it is.
it was
Yeah.
on a Shutter comp too of best jump scares. What's so bad about the second one? I don't remember the
I think
Heretic.
just a story. I haven't watched it in so long, but I watched it when I was a kid.
That's
And
the
I just
musical, right? That's where it's a musical where it's like Satan, 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 Satan.
I remember because it shows how Pazuzu traveled from Africa,
Oh, is
right?
that
In the
right?
Locust. Yeah, in the
In the Locust.
Locust.
That's a cool
Yeah, I
idea.
saw that on like AMC Monster
That's a
Fest.
cool fucking
I
idea.
I remember certain scenes from that. I haven't watched it in
I
like
might have
20
to
years.
I might have to go back, Sha. I might have to go back.
Yeah, watch all three, man.
Yeah.
Second one is not as bad as people say. Like, there's some cool scenes, you know.
I would
There's
have
a
to give it.
scene-
I know the third one. I've seen Brad Dourif. Bisha. Brad Dourif is like Joker, like in this movie. He's so good. He's like, this is what kind of put him on the map for as a character actor with his voice. He's a great working actor, but he's in an insane asylum, if I remember correctly. Shah, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and he's got that creepy voice. Oh my god, it's so good. Yeah, I people groaned. I'm gonna give it a shot. But we're
Second
gonna.
one also has a cameo by James Earl Jones.
Does it really?
He plays the king of the village in Africa.
Yes, that's right. Oh my god. Wow. I need to go back and
It's not
watch
as bad as people say. I like it.
People really hate that.
Yeah, people hate that movie, dude.
People
That
get
movie,
violent about
you
it
know.
because they don't like it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I just recently watched the Omen 2 again, and I love it.
Yeah, people like that one over the first one.
I love it. Dude, the dynamic of the two young boys, like in the military school. Lance Henriksen is the fucking teacher who's really working for the devil. The end where the fucking aunt goes, I always belonged to him. I was always his. Oh my God. It's fucking incredible, man. It's fucking amazing. Bisho, you're not an Omen guy either. They're such good movies.
I've seen the original and the remake. I don't think I've seen Omen 2.
I like the remake. The remake is hard as nails, dude.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Gore fest.
Isn't Liev Schreiber in that one or something?
Yeah, Liev Schreiber and the girl from Step. What the fuck's her name? She's also not Mandy.
Not Katherine Heigl. It was
No, what
the
the
one that
fuck
kind of looked like her.
Yeah, the one who kind of looks like her. She was in one of those dance movies, I think, in the '90s or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't really do much, but I see her now and then she does some good shit. She's like older now. The fuck is her name? She played the mother.
Julia Stiles.
Yeah, Julia Stiles. It was Liev Schreiber, Julia Stiles, that English character actor, played the reporter. He was really good. You know who's the creepy German guy he was in the trailer for the Nazi werewolf movie for Quentin Tarantino. That guy, he's like a creepy German dude, which I know sometimes is the same thing, creepy in German. Like Udo something or
Udo, not Udo Kier.
Udo Kier. Yeah, Udo Kier.
Pete Postlethwaite.
Pete Postlewaite's dead. He's amazing. He's great in it. He plays a priest in it. He's dead.
Udo
Kier plays, I think, either like a priest who's actually working for Satan in it, dude. He's the one who switches the baby and kills the baby, I think.
Yeah.
Dude, remember that scene in the remake? Jesus Christ. The glass scene, the dogs. It's got Shah, do you watch
the embolism? Putting the shot in the fucking
No,
tube?
I've never seen the remake.
Shah, you have to watch this remake, man. It's brutal. Brutal.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. Listen, we're going to head over to Patreon. So if you want to listen to the rest of the show, please head on over to patreon.com/breaktheapp. Again, people, $5. That's all you need. You just need $5 to get you there. And just going to give a little shout out to the people keeping the lights on this place. We appreciate it. And we really are grateful for their support. But please consider going to patreon.com/breaktheapp. We're doing this a little different, so you'll have to forgive me. I want to thank Ruben and Joe and Cello Eccles and Ronald Anderson and Anna Bragone and Emmanuel Rojas and Jeff Lippity Lippman and JB Buff Bell and Jarek Braxton and Kevin Mathurin and Michael Smith and Rivers Johansson and Jude and Matt and Felix Ortiz and Chuck and JT, who's cloudy, Joseph Mara, Chris Matthews, Cherry Jesus, the artist formerly known as Roxy Mike, White Sox Sal, John D, Purple Haze, Danny Douglas, Paul Stockwell, Mad Max, Fatty 316, James Gruesome, Daniel Clark, Deliverance, Christopher Kane, the adorable one, Drew Yari, who, by the way, I think does not like The Exorcist, guys. Did you know that? I don't think
He doesn't like
it.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't like anything that I like. Pretty much everything that he likes, I dislike, and everything I like.
But he loves you. And we also have J.R.R. Neurosis and Rye King and Tori Clark and Lamont Cash and Barry Cope and Perry Singh and David Cronco and Roberto and Jamie Sterling, David Solano and Rob Savalas and Shai Lu and Cassie Singh and Jeffrey Hess and E-Rock V1 and Roxy and Kimmy Kincaid and Joe. And we have Vince C. Chi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry, I always have a problem with that. Who's AG and Mr. Isaacs and Bob Fernando and Nate Tabber and Johnny Florida and JR and Charlie and Digital Lizard and Papa Mike Brown and Brandon McIntyre. Kerry Goldberg is in the house and Sal Felix, Cockboy, Gary Thorpe, John Haniff, Justin Ludwig, Anthony Alston, Terrell Thibodeau and Leonard Van Doon and Cushion Pusher, MJW Games, Larry Trailer, Randy, Joe Punches, Air Hugs and Pet and Pugs, Don, Tony, Jarrett Maloney, Walter Filani, Steve Shaw, Stephen Teasdale, and my buddy Marquise Johns. Who has the plugs? Does anybody have? Oh, I'm supposed to have the plugs, aren't I? Sorry, this is all very new. I should have had the plugs here. Sorry about that, guys.
New show, who dis?
New show, who dis? Let's thank. Let's plug Deathmatch Outlaws. Let's plug the Drew Yarsifer Show. Let's plug Classics 86 on YouTube. The Down Under Thundercast, and of course Don Tony, who's killing it right now. Necromaniacs podcast. You always want to be checking them out for everything going on in horror. The Inhuman Experience podcast, and of course we have Mojo and Dirk's most dastardly show, The Garden of Doom. And then we have Old Guy Metalcast, FunkBetty.com. Get on over to funkbetty.com. Get some new clothes today. MJW Games, Cherry Jesus on YouTube and his band Kaiser. Red River Podcast, Playing Dead. That's our friend Sam over at the Red River Podcast. That's Sam at the band Playing Dead. Bayou Geeks. That's our good friend Fatty 316 and the boys over there. High Max Podcast, Midnight Mass Creature Cast, Weekly Detour. It's got Anthony Alston and his good friend Teddy. And of course, Guns and Geeks. And a shot. What's been going on Planet Mondo? A lot happening, huh?
Well, I'm actually I haven't uploaded much on there, but go check me out on YouTube since you're watching this on YouTube. Subscribe, Planet Mondo. But I'm doing a collaboration with Disconnected on YouTube. He's putting out an online magazine about physical media, and he's got a lot of people involved with it, from all kinds of writers and contributors of all kinds, directors, producers, all kinds of shit. And I'm gonna start doing the cover for that. So we just put out the first cover. And it's a Bruce Lee. It's an alternative.
I saw that. Came out amazing.
Yeah, it's a poster.
That's from Enter the Dragon, right?
Yeah. It's a Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon poster variant that I made. So I'll have a new shop up in the next month where you'll be able to actually purchase the poster. So they'll be available soon. But I know we're new on YouTube, so do us a favor and hit that like button.
Yes, please.
That shit matters.
Yeah, it's brand new. So
please, all that shit. And the notifications, because they won't let you know that we're on. So hit the notification bell, subscribe, and hit the like button. I know every YouTuber says that it's annoying, but we have to remind people. It's the
we're going to be very annoying
about it.
Yeah, we're going to be very annoying about it.
Yeah.
And of course, B Show. What's happened on the B Show Brian channel?
Still trying to get some stuff up for summertime. Some Tourist Trap, some
nice
remake of the House of Wax and how that ties into the original in Texas Chainsaw. So working on some stuff. We'll see if I get it out. Been pretty busy lately, but bshowbrian.com, bshowpodcast.com.
The B stands for busy.
Busy, burly.
Busy, burly in a small town. B Show Aldean.
Like and subscribe.
But by the way, there's an Italian guy named Jason Aldente. He said his song is called Try That in a Small Villa. He's trying that. Try that in a small town. I punch you in the nose. But we're heading over to Patreon in a little bit. Thank you guys for checking us out. We're really excited for this new venture. And we'll see you next week in the apocalyptic world of entertainment.
Peace.